Hello, everyone. I'm Andrew Bacher-Hicks. I'm an assistant professor at education policy at the UWheelock. You'll notice that gun violence is not in the title of my talk, but I am excited to talk about a very closely related topic, the school to prison pipeline, and the long run impacts that school suspensions have on adult crime. Over the past decade, there's been shifting federal guidance on school discipline. So starting with the Obama administration in 2014, he issued guidance urging schools to reduce their reliance on school suspensions and exclusionary school discipline. That guidance was rescinded in 2018 under the Trump administration. And recently, again, the Biden administration began urging schools to reduce their reliance on strict school discipline. And I think this debate is really motivated by three important facts. The first is that over about the past 50 years, schools have increasingly relied on suspensions, particularly in response to minor infractions that occur in schools, like students using a cell phone, for instance. The second is that there are large and growing racial gaps in the use of school suspensions. And finally, and hence the name school to prison pipeline, there's a lot of correlational evidence that shows that there is a link between suspensions and criminal justice involvement. Particularly, students who are suspended are more likely to be involved in the criminal justice system. However, there's little causal evidence on the net effects of students who attend schools with very strict discipline policies. And that's what we seek to address in this paper. And so we're going to answer two key research questions. The first, what are the net effects, or what are the overall effects for students who attend schools with strict discipline policies? And are those effects different by student subgroups? We're going to leverage a unique natural experiment that occurred in Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools. It's the 18th largest school district in the country. And between 2002 and 2003, 50% of 2002 and 2003, 50% of students were assigned to new schools as a result of a court order. So it was unanticipated, and students were shifted around a lot during that 1 year period. And you can see the map here on the left shows just one example of this. And if we just focus in on this one neighborhood here, all of the students in that neighborhood, in that census block group, were all assigned to McClintock Middle School. And the suspension rate was 19% for those students. If you fast forward to after the court-ordered school rezoning, you'll notice that students in that neighborhood were now split between McClintock School District and South Charlotte. And I don't know if you can read the small numbers in the back, but those who were assigned to McClintock, there's a suspension rate of 20% in that school. But those who are assigned to South Charlotte, 7% suspension rate. And so we're going to leverage that in I'll spare you all of the econometric details for the sake of time, but we're going to leverage that distinction. And essentially what we're going to do is compare students who live in the same neighborhood, were previously assigned to the same schools, and then suddenly, as a result of that court order, assigned to two completely different schools in 2003. And what we find is that those students who were assigned to stricter schools, and in particular, we quantify this in terms of standard deviation. So students who were assigned to a 1 standard deviation stricter school were 3.2 percentage points more likely to be arrested as an adult, and 2.5 percentage points more likely to be incarcerated as an adult. And these are about 20% increases from the mean. We also see that those students assigned to stricter schools had an increased number of arrests and an increased number of incarcerations and lower educational attainment. That was the full sample. Now, if we focus just on the roughly one quarter approximately of students in our sample who identify as male students of color, you'll notice that all of these point estimates just about double. So for example, male students of color are about 5.5 percentage points more likely to be arrested as adults if they attend a strict middle school as opposed to the full sample. And this leads us to the conclusions of this study that we've provided some of the first causal evidence that attending a strict school does indeed have a connection to the school to prison pipeline. And there's a disproportionate effect on male students of color. I wasn't able to show you today, but there are no benefits, there's no spillover benefits for any other students in schools who attend, for students who attend a strict school. So There's no benefits for any of the other subgroups. Although there are more harmful effects for male students of color, no students seem to benefit from attending a strict school. And perhaps most importantly, school leadership really plays a big role in determining school suspension practices. The implications of this result suggest that reducing exclusionary discipline can disrupt the school to prison pipeline, and that school leaders really have the power to change school discipline policies. Thank you.